Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about the Catastro debate, and I'm going to give you my predictions that are guaranteed, in my humble opinion, because of the Catastro debate. So the Catastro debate was last Thursday. It was President Biden attempting to debate and thoroughly failing to even... What he did, it cannot really be called a debate performance. It was a complete failure to communicate in any meaningful way, right? He was like, so basically there was a President Trump and a President Biden debate, and it changed the course of history forever for America. So, and it's pretty astonishing. So one, I'm not the only person saying this. Like what is astounding is there are many Democrats who are like, we lose. If we run this candidate, we lose, because what we just showed America in the debate is that not only can President Joseph Biden not be a good president in the next 4 years, he's clearly not a president now, right? Like, so what President Biden did in the Trump-Biden debate was not debate President Trump. He put in a bad performance for grandpa at an old folks home, right? Like, if you had went to visit Biden at an old folks home and you were his as a grandfather, you'd be like, oh, grandpa, man, you can't remember like anything. You're saying the same thing twice. You're not finishing sentences. You're mumbling a lot. This is a bad visit, right? This was a bad grandpa visit at the old folks home. This wasn't a debate. This was not two people like talking about subjects. This was, hey, that guy is clearly not ruling the country now. The idea that he'll rule the country in even 4 months from now is ludicrous, because he's not going to be ruling the country he's not ruling the country now, right? Like, and so, and if the Republicans were saying this, it would be like, who cares, right? But the Democrats are saying this. The Democrats are like, oh yeah, we can't pretend anymore. That's not anybody's president. That's just a guy who is sitting in a chair, and we don't really know. The plane's on autopilot. We don't know who's actually doing leadership now. Like, we have no idea. And you don't have any idea either. And this debate did not screw things up for the who's going to be president between 2024 and 2028. This debate showed everybody, you don't have a leader now. You don't have a president now. You don't have anybody in the presidency. The Oval Office does not have a single person in it who can listen to a sentence and then intellectually process it, and then say a sentence that is in context of the sentence they just heard. Right? They can't answer sentences. They can't hold conversations. There's no communication. There's no leadership. America is on autopilot. There's nobody in the president's seat at this point who can actually listen to sentences and then respond with sentences. That is not happening now. The idea that he would possibly lead from 2024 to 2028 is the most ludicrous fantasy you could possibly imagine. Right? Like, and so everybody's like, and so the Democrats are like, we're going to lose to Trump. And it's not about politics. It's literally about, hey, the president job is hard. You got to be able to listen to sentences and then respond with sentences that are in context of the sentence you just heard. You got to be able to communicate, right? Like, basically. And the guy we have in there right now cannot reliably finish sentences, right? Like, this is like, and so this got really bad really fast, right? So now what happens? So I'm going to give you the prediction. All right, here's my prediction. It's going to happen in 2 to 6 weeks. And I think the smartest Democrats in the world are working on this right now in coffee-filled rooms. There are no more smoke-filled rooms, but there are coffee-filled rooms, right? So in coffee-filled rooms, in rooms with soy lattes and cold brew, foam caps, and mocha grandes. In coffee-filled rooms, they're working on this real hard. And the smartest Democrats are going, listen, there ain't a politician. I think the smartest Democrats understand this. Trump is a political beast. There's never been anyone like him. Literally, he is completely unprecedented in every possible way, right? He's virtually unbeatable at this point, right? And if he was set to win before, man, they just girded his loins, right? He is ready. Like, he's armor-proofed. He's wearing bulletproof armor politically at this point, right? His counterpart on the Republican Democrat side, it's not like who has the best policies. It's like who can speak sentences when sentences are said to them. And Trump's like, me. And then Biden's like, what? Where are we at? Anybody have a blanket? It's no longer about politics. It's literally about basic human communication, right? Like, and this is a failed experiment. We had this experiment. Hey, can an 80-year-old lead the country? The answer is no. The answer is clearly no. The experiment's run. The data's in. The answer is no. Right? It's like, this is where we're at, right? So what happens? Okay. So the smartest Democrats would be like, there's no politician on the earth who can beat Donald Trump right now. You could take Hillary Clinton. She's a joke. She's not even a joke. She's a horror movie, right? And the reason why is Hillary's a fine lady, right? Like, well, she's married to Bill Clinton, and she owns all his baggage. And his baggage, when you take Bill Clinton's baggage, you take it out of 2 minivans, right? Like bag by bag by bag, and then you unzip one, and it's just like. You're like, oh, what? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's bad. That's as bad as it gets. Oh, no. That's just one bag, right? Like, Bill Clinton's baggage is so high, right? And here's the thing. We all know that they haven't been married for years, but legally and by their own definition and what they're saying, they're still married. So politically, that's her husband, right? Like, and like quite literally, that's her husband. Like figuratively, like, yeah, they ain't been in the same room in probably 20 years. But, they're completely separate. But they've chosen to present that they're still married, right? Which is absurd. But like, and people know. And they're going to be like, oh, your husband? No. You connected to that? No. Scooter off. Like, you could scooter off with your horrible, absolutely abominable scandals. Hillary, thanks, next. Right? So she's done. Okay. Michelle Obama, very real candidate, right? I think she could beat President Trump if she was willing to do it. She's not. She doesn't want to do it. And even if they forced her to, because she's half in, because she's doing it one cheek, Trump will absolutely murk her. He will destroy her, like in every possible way, because she's not in. She doesn't want to do it, right? And you better bring sword and board, man. Like, you better be ready. And she ain't ready, right? She got the name recognition. It's important, but she doesn't have the will, right? She even has the capability. She just doesn't have the will. And if you go against Donald Trump, you better have capability and will. She has capability. She has no will, right? Not to do this. She has will to do other things, but not to do this. And I'll tell you right now, right there, the will to go against President Trump. See, that's a short list, baby. That is a short list. So what's going to happen? 2 to 6 weeks from now, they will identify the person who will replace Biden. And then they will begin the process. And they'll be like, hey, here's the person we're going to replace him with. We still got some T's to cross and some I's to dot, right? And that person will be one of 3 men. It will be Matthew McConaughey, John Krasinski, or Chris Pratt. So that's what's going to happen. That's what has to happen. That's what that catastrophe debate has guaranteed, right? Because the Democrats do not have any other choices that can win. So that is my prediction for what happens as a consequence of the catastrophe debate. Every single word you just heard is my opinion, my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. What's important is when I get to your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.